we'll see what happens. Let me talk about kind of what's been happening this week around this entire piece. The idea this week already started off as an empowerment week. Last week we did dropping the story, breaking up with the old story. And instead of writing a new one, we just instantly start walking in the new one. So that's last week's material. This week, it's all about empowerment. So empowerment is one thing, right? I have the juice, I have the energy, I feel empowered to go for that new job, go break up with somebody, or to get involved in a relationship after having a big wound around a previous one. Also, being empowered through divorce, maintaining power and creating from within the empowerment. I make a decision to file for a divorce or to stay in this and make it happen and go through the steps to make it work, or filing a divorce. And now we're going through the conflict. We're going through the drama. How am I handling and self-regulating in that process because of everything that's happening around me? Am I constantly triggered? Am I being pulled into the drama? Right? That's how I can give my power away. It's really important to look at any crisis, divorce, breakup, new job, loss of job, financial, to look at it as a crisis that you can actually change, because the only thing that matters is how you show up in these processes with relationships. How you show up matters more. And I'll explain that now. The idea here is empowerment through intimacy. Now, in my conversations this week with everybody, with clients, it's very common. This is what we hear. We have reasons, excuses to withhold our intimacy and vulnerability from the other person. We can talk about the data. They cheated on me. They were rude. They used a word I didn't like, and then we put a label on it. That label disconnects me from who I am because I now surrender my power to fucking label. If you look at it from that point of view, it doesn't make any sense. So let's stop. When we're intimate with someone, we're able to remove the judgments and accept ourselves and the other person for who they are. So if you don't have judgments, if I don't have any judgments for you, if you're brand new in my experience, I have nothing to go on. Not really. So I'm going to be the most open and vulnerable with you, intimate, because I'm actually feeling safe and vulnerable within myself. Now, as time goes by and I learn more about you, or you learn about your partner, or learn about your husband or your wife for 5, 10, 15, 20 years, you now have opinions that turn into judgments, and i.e. labels that get put upon them. And all of a sudden, we're not in love anymore. All of a sudden, they've changed, and we're ignoring the fact that we've changed. So digging in a little deeper. So we're also able to see that the unconditional love exists between both of us when we remove all the judgments and we're allowing ourselves to be intimate with ourselves and the other person. When we have this level of intimacy, we're able to access our inner power and wisdom, right? So when I'm calm and cool and secure and collected in a conflict, I have so much wisdom to keep my mouth shut and not just interrupt somebody because they're wrong, right? I can let it go because why does it matter? Intimacy equals empowerment equals turning inward. So how can intimacy help achieve empowerment? You go inwards, you go inside, because it starts with you. The way you create intimacy and then empowerment from it, you go inward. First of all, you want to create the space for vulnerability and connection. Creating the space for vulnerability and connection. This is not about going into a conversation with somebody and creating the space for the two of you. It's about creating it for you in those quiet moments, creating it for you when you're in the middle of a conversation that you're feeling is going where you don't want to go. Do you run? Do you use the excuse of red flags? Do you use the excuse of your past? Do you use the excuse of your friends and family told you this when this happened before and now they're doing the same thing? Do you use that as an excuse to hide who you truly are behind a label? Think about it. When you do that, you're giving your power away. You're disconnecting yourself from who you are. So create the space for vulnerability and connection and intimacy within you so that what they do doesn't matter. What the other person does not matter, especially if they're yelling and screaming at you, okay? Get to that place where it doesn't matter. You're safe. You're vulnerable within you and you're still conscious and you can take action. Then you want to create that sense of trust within yourself, right? You don't expect trust. We see this all the time. I expect people to earn my trust, right? Have you ever said that? How's that working for you? Usually what happens is someone performs and does the things that you need them to do to earn trust. And then when I decide that I want to see a problem, 3 months, 3 days, 6 months, 10 years, all of a sudden I can choose to just say, oh, you were faking it the whole time. No, trust comes from within, people. It comes from within. You have to give to get. You can choose not to, but don't blame them anymore. It's on you. So turn inward. So now we're going to actual steps. Number 1, accept yourself exactly as you are. Exactly as you are. Not the you 20 pounds from now after your weight loss journey kicks in. Not when you get that job. Not when you finally have that income, not when you finally have that girl or that boy or that husband or that wife, and not when you're finally divorced. Why wait that long? Withhold the worthiness and the joy of your life by doing something so silly as that. Do it now. So accept myself in this moment, in this drama. I'm crying. I'm upset. I feel like an imposter. That's coming up for me a lot lately because I'm pushing myself so big that when I step down on that ladder, I'm like, oh, I fell off the thing. I made it all up. I don't know shit. Right. So I have to face myself with my own level of intimacy, or else I just brush it off and I don't get my juice back. So make it worth it. Make it worth it to you. You're sacred. You're worthy, no matter what. Accepting myself as I am, all of a sudden I step into my empowerment. It becomes real in the moment because it's present. I'm not waiting to earn my power. So number one, know your empowerment by accepting yourself exactly as you are, unchanged. Number two, identify the disempowering statement. So what are those? The thoughts, the words, the experiences, the things that you are choosing to give power to that create disempowerment. That's limiting beliefs, right? Thoughts, words, and actions are all driven by your beliefs. They're driving that bus. They're turning when you don't want them to turn. You can't do anything about that except work on your awareness and remove that. So identify disempowering thoughts. So I'm not worthy. I'm not pretty enough. I'm not good enough, right? My imposter was coming up yesterday, really hardcore for myself. So that's a voice. That's a pattern. It's a limiting belief that no longer serves me. So whatever pattern, whatever thing that you got going on with you that is a disempowering statement, try to identify it. Make it an it. It's not you. It's a piece of you. And it's a really small piece of you. Identify it, look at it, call it something. Make it something, a label. Make it a pattern. You can see how it's happening right now in your divorce, in your arguments, in your job. And then look and see if there's a pattern of that same problem coming up over and over again. You have identified some kind of pattern or limiting belief, something that's disempowering you before you even wake up, okay? Before you even open your mouth. Identify that and make it a thing, make it not you, because you got too many layers. Make it a thing, a part of you, but it's not you. Number three, then you want to cultivate self-compassion. Now that's pretty obvious to some people. I'm going to add to it. So first off, of that number three, cultivate the self-compassion, the self-worth, the self-love, the self-forgiveness, all of that. Well, Anthony, I try to do that, and it doesn't last for more than 5 minutes. I tried, Anthony. Okay, here's the part I want you to hear, and I'm pretty blunt when it comes to this. If you go to see one therapist twice and then decide we can't work on this, even if you say it's because he or she is the one that's not wanting to contribute to therapy, my answer is going to be, I hear you. That's cool. I understand, but why didn't you go to 4? Why didn't you go to 5? And that's why I want you to hear this. When it comes to creating the self-compassion and treating yourself kindly and with love and forgiveness, I want you to be an active participant in this. You do it all day, every day, not once or twice, not on Sundays, your self-care day. It's a moment-by-moment existence. If you want to change the story, if you want to live fully engaged, on fire, and happy, and creating from within, and changing yourself and affecting your reality, even in the middle of a crisis, I want you to understand that your forgiveness, your self-love is a constant thing. It's not once or twice. You want to pivot. When you fall down, you pivot again. Next thing you know, you're not failing anymore. You're falling forward. I think Denzel Washington said that a long time ago. So I want you to fall forward. Love yourself. Fall forward. Forgive yourself. Fall forward. Accept yourself actively, repeatedly, with repetition. That's what will make a change. So that's number 3. Number 4, when you've gotten to that place, when you are connected, when you are present, when you're clear, when you're able to see yourself with all that story, whenever you're able to see yourself in your power, loving yourself, forgiving yourself, then here's what I want you to do. Remove the judgments of the other people in your experience. What do I mean? Remove the conditions. When you're clear, remove the conditions that you've now placed on somebody else. I'm talking about that cheater, that liar, that word that I don't like to say, the one that starts with an N and ends with a assist. Yeah, that popular one. Clients know that it's not good to say that word to me. They get to shut the fuck up from me. So anyway, because it doesn't serve you any good. It's a label. It takes your power away. So we drop the labels. When you work with me, it's non-negotiable. So deal with that. So when you remove the drama from you, you're able to see other people clearly. So take the drama off of them and put it away for this. All of a sudden, when you look at somebody, that has hurt you big time, when you're ready to let that go and actually stop losing your power to that story, even though it's true, when you're able to do that and see them clean and clear as you are now changing everything. You are in your power zone. It's instantaneous. You're connecting with who you truly are, with your authentic self, with your unlimited amount of unconditional love. And I'll tell you what, if you go through a divorce and you're able to walk away and see your former partner and not only just be good with them being them and you being, if you can actually forgive them, truly forgive them and want them to be happy after your divorce, you have rewritten your history. You've changed your future, right? You've changed your past. You've rewritten it. You've changed your future because you will never be able to forgive this person, the soon-to-be ex, the blank label, the cheater, the liar. You'll never be able to forgive them and get your freedom and your empowerment back until you learn to forgive yourself. And we usually know this by now. There's enough self-help stuff out there that can't be the first one to tell you this, but I'm going to say it anyway. You are the hardest person to forgive. I, and all these mirrors around me, I am the hardest person that there will ever be to forgive. And that's just one way that I can make sure, if I'm not going to forgive myself, wow, I've created a freaking brick wall that I will never connect to who I truly am in my power. And I'm fucking done with that. I want more. What's next? So you want to be free? Gotta forgive yourself. So these steps in the way that I'm talking about them and putting them on repeat every day, if you have to, it's going to change everything for you. It's going to change the direction where power is. It's going to flow more continuously and you're going to have wisdom in the middle of a fight, believe it or not. You might even be pulled into the fight and you will suddenly stop yourself in the middle and go, whoa, I'm done with that. Is freaking empowerment incarnate. And once you get this down, you're never going to be willing to let it go again. So how do we integrate this? How do we integrate this next step? So my clients know that we have some kind of ultimatums with Cortino's coaching program, especially those in my masterclass. They are on, it's like, we do this stuff and it's a requirement. So here's one technique that really takes this to the next level, but it's intense. So here we go. I want you to write down those disempowering beliefs. I want you to flip them to empowering beliefs. So from I'm an imposter to I'm knowledgeable, from I'm dumb enough, I'm smart enough. Go all in on this. Really get some details in there. Then I want you to wake up in the morning and write down how your day is going to go from that empowered place. And again, if you're stuck in the house of the person that you filed for divorce against, or they filed for divorce against you, and you're stuck in this house, you can still get a piece of paper in the morning. You're important enough to do this for yourself, for your family. If you have kids, they deserve it too from you. Get a piece of paper. Write down how you want the day to go, as detailed as possible. Then I want you to grab your powerful mirror, your cell phone. That's right. Bring up your cell phone. And I want you to read your script for the day to yourself. Here's what's going to happen. One of three things. Number one, you're going to get choked up because you're going to reach the limit of your belief. The part of you that does not believe a damn word you wrote is going to come out when you try to tell yourself, I'm going to be happy today. I'm going to be in my power today. I'm going to get a new job today. I'm going to serve my clients better than ever before today. If a part of you doesn't believe that, it's going to come out with the choking voice, the dry mouth, the twitch of the eye. Something's going to happen when you watch it back, when you watch yourself express your desires for wanting the day to fucking work out for you. You are facing yourself. The hardest thing you'll ever do is face yourself. You face yourself and deal with your bullshit first thing in the morning, and you see it in front of you. You see yourself crying, getting choked up, or you see yourself lying to yourself. Then something's going to happen when you watch it back. You've just taken journaling and brought it into the new century, right? You are now doing 10x to your journaling. You're going to get 10 times more benefit, and you can go back and watch it again and again and again. Do that for 3 or 4 days in a row. Your life might just change. So take that with you. I love you all. Whenever you see this, whether it's in this group or Divorce Happy Now, I love you. If you want some help, if you want to stop the patterns, if you want to stop giving your excuse of being triggered away to your current situation, if you want to stop all that and live in your power and be happy right freaking now. So it doesn't matter what's going on outside of you, because what you are matters more. If you're ready to talk about that, let's do it. Message me. Make it happen. Love you. Have a good night.